Hello Airsoft friends, and welcome to this video today where I'm going to be doing some more hydro dipping because I feel like I learned a lot from my first experience and now I'm at a time in my experience to go further and do more. So what I'm going to try and attempt to do today, without it going terribly and horribly wrong, is hydro dip my SRS stock. So you can see here I've already taken it apart. I've taken out all the screws and the nuts and things, and I've also cleaned it. I got some isopropyl alcohol, I've wiped it all down, got rid of all of the gunk, and now it's essentially at a point where it's ready to be prepped, so I can do some painty things to it, which is very exciting. Now, if you didn't see my first hydro dipping experiment, then check the video out up there. There you go, boom, it's in there. I did a run cam scope cover that I make, and it didn't come out too bad. This is it here. See? It didn't come out too shabby, I must say myself. The one issue that did happen with it, though, is that I accidentally did drop it into the painty stuff.
Okay. Oh, no!
Which wasn't ideal. It wasn't an ideal scenario. So I'm not going to be doing that again today. Well, hopefully anyway. So we're going to try and do better than that on today's one. Now, I do also have different films to dip it into. So we did use like the leafy kind of grassy one before, which is this one here. I'm not going to use this one this time. In fact, I'm going to go for one of the other ones that we have. There you go. Look at that. Boom. Look at all those leaves. Isn't that cool? And we're going to be putting this onto our SRS. Dippy bits to the side because we don't need those, at least for now anyway. We're going to keep this one a little bit closer because that's the one we're going to be using. The next step, what we need to do in order to get this ready for hydro dipping is I need to roughen the surface with this spongy thing, which feels absolutely horrible on my hand. Roughen the surface up, and then once the surface is roughed up, I need to spray it with this, and this will then, well, it will be the paint that the thingy will then attach to. So what I am going to do off camera to save time in this video is I'm going to rub this down with this spongy pad thing like that, which will make it a bit rough. And then I'm going to take this spray paint and spray these after I've roughed them up with the pad. So, in a matter of seconds, you're going to see me with finished side things of these ready to be dipped. And just like that, it's done. Look at this. Boom. And they actually came out super, super nice. So this is the right side of the SRS after it's been rubbed down and primered. And I gave it 3 light coats and it turned out really, really good. So that's the right side there. And then this is the left side here. So as you can see there, it's nice and smooth. There's no bumps or anything like that. It's gone on really universally across the entire part. And this is, I'm actually really proud of this. I feel like this shows that my kind of knowledge and experience and just kind of like ability has come in a lot since the first one. And this also goes to prove that if you take your time and are a bit patient with what you're doing, you can actually get a really, really nice result. So yeah, super happy with that. While I was away and spraying these and waiting for these to dry, I organized and sorted out the films which I'm going to be using for the dipping, and they now look a little bit of something like this. So you can see the design in there quite nicely. It is quite see-through, so I do feel like a lot of the background color is going to come through, but fingers crossed this will darken it. And you can see on this one I've actually put masking tape around the edges, which I didn't do in my last dipping video. Now the reason why I've done that is in the last time we did this, the edges of the film started to roll up when it hit the water, and I don't want that to happen. And also I saw in a couple of other hydro dipping videos is that if you don't have an edging on there, it can actually spread the pattern out and it can kind of grow in the water. And I did see that happen when I dipped my first one. These will go in the water, and then we're just going to hold in the QB bits inside the riff shell, stock shell, just like that. And then we're going to dip it in like this, and hopefully everything will go okay. So with that being said, I've got a trough of water ready in the bath at the perfect temperature. So all we need to do now is put this into the water, spray the activator, and do some dipping. Please, please cross your fingers for me. first one done. That is now over in the other room drying. Now time to do the second one. The fumes were getting a bit much, which is why I've now put a mask on. Because it was just kind of like lingering in the air, which is why I've done it in the bathroom. So hopefully our lovely extractor fan will get rid of all of the aerosol. I am very happy. This has come out so well. I'm so happy how well this has come out, and it's so much better than the first little test that I did with the scope camera cover. Because even though it does look the part and it does look alright, there is a lot of imperfections in there, and yeah, I mean, as a first test, it was okay, considering that I just dropped it in the bloody thing. But you want the big reveal, yeah? Well, here is the first half that I did, and I must say, I am super happy with that. Look at that. Look how cool that is. You get the full effect on there. You can see all leaves in the back here. Leaves coming up here as well. There's trees. There's bark. There's like, so much stuff going on. And here is the second half, which actually looks so much better. And there's a reason for why, which I'll get into in a second. And here you go. Look at that. So much more color. So much more detail. And oh my days, it's just so much more contrasty than the other half. If I bring it up here, you can see that it almost looks like I used two different films when hydro dipping this, because this one looks a lot less colourful than this one down here. Now, the reason why this happened is I kind of did something in the wrong order. What I did was I put the film on the water, and in the first one, I sprayed it with the activator straight away, waited 60 seconds, and then did my dipping. But with the second one, I reread the can just to make sure, and what I was supposed to do was put the film on the water, let it sit for 60 seconds, spray the activator, and then dip. So I think the reason why this one is, you know, kind of like less vibrant and whatnot than this one is because this one was able to properly activate in the water, have all the naffy stuff kind of dissolve away, which would have then allowed it to have looked like this one here. Lesson learned. I'll definitely remember that for next time. And you know what? This is still infinitely better than the little scope cam case that I did, and I am so happy with this side. The only thing which could be improved though with this, which is something which I'm going to try and fix it post the fact, is that it's a little bit too bright for me. When I got all of the stuff from Dip This, by the way, thank you Dip This again, there's a link in description below if you guys want to get your stuff from them too. They only had the beige primer in stock, and originally I wanted OD because I feel like that would be a little bit darker and would help in, you know, kind of camoing it up and lining up with the environment. But because they only had beige, that's all I could have, and because of that, you can see pretty much everywhere there's beige or this kind of like yellowy, whitey, kind of like light tanny color, that is the primer coming through. So if that was a darker color, this whole thing would be darkened down and, you know, would essentially be better camouflage for the UK environment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fix this after the fact before doing my matte lacquer, which goes on right at the end, which kind of gives you a protective covering over all of your paint and make sure it lasts a long time. I'm going to do some light dusting of this black and this tan, which I've done before in my other videos when I've painted my guns. And I'm hoping that this very, very light dusting will help bring these down just enough that will make it blend more into the UK environment that little bit more. In the areas where more beige is on show, they're not like at the back here on the stock and here as well on the grip and the top part, I'm going to go a little bit more ham with the tan, and I want to see if I can bring that down. And then everything else is going to get a very light dusting of black on the top just to try and bring the whole thing down a couple of pegs. So with that being said, I'm going to go off and do that now, and the next time you see this, it's going to be dusted with these two paints and it's going to be lacquered and we'll have the final product. Man, I am so excited. And here it is after being darkened and lacquered. And here is the final thing. Look at that. I think that looks pretty darn good and definitely more camouflaged and better than the stock OD green that was on there. Very, very happy with that. I have just noticed something which didn't go so well, and that is on the side which I didn't let sit in the water for long enough before putting the activator on. The kind of film has come away a little bit from the rifle, which you can see there in a few of these tighter places. So I'm going to re-dip that side, redo this one, and I think after I've done that, everything will be perfect. But I'm going to do that just on my own time and not in a video. So just assume it went well. And with that being said, that's it for this video. So thank you all very, very much for stopping by today and checking out my dipping of my SRS. Huge shout out to all of my wonderful patrons for supporting the channel month on month and yeah, helping me keep the lights on, keep food in my belly, and keep making content for all of you wonderful people. Also, a big shout out to the StayFreshShoe Airsoft Discord community. Lots of cool people in there doing lots of cool things. So if you want to join in and get some friends and whatnot and things like that, come and join us on the Discord. Yeah, you'll love it. It'll be great. And with that being said, thank you again for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.